Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Walt here from Down the Block Sports, and today I want to talk about the Boston Celtics. The Celtics were in a three-team trade last night with the San Antonio Spurs and Denver Nuggets. What I want to talk about today is who the Celtics added in that trade and how that's going to affect the Celtics moving forward. Again, I'm Alec Walt. This is Down the Block Sports. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Yes, the Boston Celtics were in a three-team trade last night with the Spurs and the Nuggets. The Celtics acquired Bol Bol and PJ Dozier, while the San Antonio Spurs acquired Juancho Hernan-Gomez and a 2028 second-round pick by the Nuggets, and the Nuggets acquired sharpshooter Bryn Forbes. The Celtics here, you're looking at it and say, okay, you lost Hernan-Gomez, which is, a bigger contract than you'd like to have for his production, but Bol Bol and PJ Dozier are currently injured. Bol Bol injured his foot, and he will be out for the next 3 months. And Dozier injured his knee in November, and he's going to be out for the season. So when you look at the production you're going to be getting from these two guys, you're not going to be seeing them for at least the next 3 months if you even see either of these two players for the rest of the year. Now, Bol Bol was originally going to be a Detroit Piston before a failed physical due to an injury, but the Celtics do have him in this three-team trade. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why are the Celtics getting themselves involved in a three-team trade when they're adding two players who, aren't healthy right now? And the main reason is to get a little bit closer to the luxury tax. I know fans aren't exactly dying to hear that quote right now, but it's true. Hernan-Gomez does have a deal going into next year, net yet not fully guaranteed, but now the Celtics don't have to worry about it if they want to try and add some more talent next offseason. Bol Bol and PJ Dozier are on deals that cost less than Hernan-Gomez. Bol Bol is making 2.1 mil, while Dozier's making about 1.9 mil, and both of those deals expire at the end of the season. So again, no long-term commitments there. There's a chance Bol Bol can return at the end of the season, but he's been unable to stay healthy for a majority of his career in the NBA. So my expectations are extremely little, if any, if he returns at the end of the season for the Boston Celtics. And finally, the Celtics want to try to be active. It's looking like going into next offseason. They're a team that would like to get below the luxury tax line to avoid some penalties. By saving $4.3 million here, they get closer to that goal, which tells me another move could be on the way to get rid of some salary to get below that line. Now, they're not very far away from the luxury tax line. It's only a couple $1,000,000 now, or maybe even a little bit less. So it's not a huge concern for the Celtics if they were to move another player here. But we're talking about moving players and adding pieces in return that don't help the current roster. What does that tell you about the Celtics right now? Now, obviously, the Celtics not having a very good season. There's no sugarcoating it. The 10 seed in the East right now, they're a team that's been massively inconsistent. They're a team that's looked poorly coached at times, and they're a team that doesn't look like in a playoff series anyone is very scared of them. Now, if they're the 10 seed in the East, or maybe even the 7, staying within that window, that means they're going to be playing a playoff seed if they make it through the play-in tournament to play the Milwaukee Bucks or Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics play either of those teams, heck, even the Bulls or some of the other top teams in the Eastern Conference, they will be eliminated in the first round, and their season will end very quickly. Now, obviously, when you're looking at it from Brad Stevens' perspective, could you trade key pieces to the roster right now or future assets to help a team that's probably not getting above the 7th seed, which means you're probably playing one of those top teams in the Eastern Conference? It'll be interesting to see what happens if the Celtics schedule does get a little bit easier, and I don't think they should completely give up on this current season, but they're currently making moves to get below the line, which means they could be moving more players here moving forward. So the Celtics are not in a good spot because they're massively exceeded or below expectations this year. They were a team you expected to be solid with the two young pieces here. They're a team that added some veterans to the roster where you hope that they could contribute more, and it unfortunately has not happened. Now, if the Celtics don't take advantage of this current stretch here, it's going to be extremely unfortunate. They're a team that is playing much better basketball right now, winning 5 of the last 6 games. But, moving forward, they're playing a lot of teams where there could be some W's. Obviously, Wednesday night, they play Charlotte, a very good basketball team. But then you see Portland, Washington, Sacramento, Atlanta, New Orleans, a tough game against Miami, Detroit, Orlando, Brooklyn without Kevin Durant, still a tough matchup, Denver, very good team. Atlanta again, still good but underperforming. Philly, Detroit again. We see Detroit again before the end of February. The Celtics have a real window to win some games and move up in the standings in the Eastern Conference. Now, when you look at the Eastern Conference, there is a gap between some of the top teams and the middle of the pack, like there normally is only halfway through the season. But Philly's a 6, 3 games ahead of Boston. Charlotte's a 7, only a game and a half ahead of Boston. So there is ability to move up here in the East. The Celtics haven't shown the ability to remain consistent, which tells me they might struggle to get one of those top middle or so seeds to avoid a brutal matchup in the first round. But this Celtics team is not ready to complete for playoff basketball. They have to make a move if they want to get anything close in a single series. But it's telling me the Celtics want to get below that line, which means Schroeder could be next. And it looks like they could possibly be sellers here at the deadline. Maybe not fully sellers, but it's looking like we're seeing a new goal here for the Boston Celtics, and it's not looking like it could be adding a piece they need to win this season. But it is setting themselves up for next year, which is promising. Brad at least knows he needs to make a move. And there's no way, the way the roster's currently constructed, that they're doing anything to do some damage. The Celtics have been disappointing this year. They should not be one game above 500 45 games into the NBA season. We'll see how they do the rest of this deadline. But in their first move, they have acquired 2 players we might not even see in the rest of the 2022 season. What do you think of this move by the Boston Celtics? How do you think they affect how they are moving forward? Feel free to give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you very soon.